for several weeks to make it saleable.
Yeah.
It wasn't sales. It was
The engines making it run,
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
it run, making the. You, look, a ship is a giant office building. Yeah, I'll give you an idea how we went. See, this is the Hatikva. Here's Hatikva. Here it goes. Miami, from Miami to Charleston, Charleston to Baltimore. Okay, from Baltimore to the Azores Islands, which are halfway, which are out here someplace in the
Right, past
here,
Portugal.
out
yeah.
here, Azores. Then to Lisbon,
Mm-hmm.
because in Lisbon we built it into a ship for carrying survivors. Then we went to Marseille. From Marseille we go to this. In other words, this is a whole trip
Yeah.
in which your engine, your people working. You're working all day and night, and you don't. And you must understand also one of the important things: nobody's getting paid, except the captain. And when we came to Portugal, I mean, I'll jump around, but in Portugal, we had time to get off and be assured because we were there a few weeks, rebuilding the ship, making it for the immigrants. We called it a banana ship. Now, you must understand, this bananas, if you know how you, if you go to a store where you get a hang bananas,
Right.
A stock.
but here we're building platforms, and that's the story.
Yeah.
And everybody believed it, or if they didn't believe it, they didn't care. They were getting paid.
But
The Portuguese were getting employed.
I'm like puzzled by something, which is
But
This
only
was-
something. It's not bad.
this was still during World War II.
No, no, no.
No,
This
no,
is
no, no,
1946.
No, World War II finishes the end of 47, beginning of 1948 already. No, but end of 46, sorry. End of 40, 47.
And this was 48.
This is 47.
Okay, so
This is 47.
the
war
boats weren't needed to.
What?
The boats were not needed by the government to fight.
Oh,
the war.
these boats were not needed by anybody. They were
Run down.
they were vessels that should have been sunk, or at least taken apart and melted down. They had no value on the market.
So you were becoming friends with everybody at that point.
Well, when you get
connecting
on a
with-
ship, you become very friendly.
Yeah.
You're working day and night. You're sleeping next to each other. You know, you're not. You don't. You,
Yeah.
yeah, but-
Getting everybody.
and to a certain extent, I had a little more in common with him because we were birthed in the Merchant Marine, so we knew. So it was a little more than a lot of. I don't know how many, but let's say half knew nothing.
Right.
The other half, okay, and so we became friendly. And I came from Far Rockaway, and he came from Brooklyn, which wasn't far from there.
Right.
And you know, so these things gelled along, and it's Hal was he was a very good guy, a very decent guy. He was unfortunately, he had a lot of tragedy, but that's something else.
What kind of tragedy?
Well, his illness and his marriage. And,
I remember he got married,
right.
and I think he had 2 children. I don't know, I can't tell you exactly, but it didn't work out. And anybody that knew Hal would say he shouldn't get married.
Why?
Impossible. I mean, he was not the. He was a good guy, a very decent person, but not for living with anyone. Getting laid, yes. But not for living
Didn't
with
you say he
anyone.
was gay?
What?
Some of the family who knew him thought he might be gay. So
Oh, I don't know. That could have been, but I don't know. This.
and my
At least-
brother thought that. My
Yeah.
brother went to visit him when in the 1970s, and my brother did a semester in London, and he said Hal didn't say one word about anything personal about himself, and he just had the vibe that you know, he was gay, and it wasn't. You didn't talk about it then, but who knows?
I never really, you know, it's funny you say that. I never even thought of it. Now you tell me.
Does it make a little sense? Maybe.
No, no, well, I know he stayed at our house for quite a bit of time when he came here and he wanted to get into the Exodus film.
Yeah.
He wanted to get into it. Yeah, I gotta get it, and that was, and so he needed a place to sleep because his wife and kids was fed again about already, and so we lived in town. He used to go out in the sun every day, get brown, get to be healthy, and then run over and try and get a job. And he did get a walk-on part or something.
Yes, no. We always see when the movie's on.
Yeah.
My mother would always point him out.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
He had about a 10-second part, but
yeah.
it was, you could see him. He
Oh,
said
really?
a few
Oh,
words.
okay. You see, there you are. I don't know. I never saw the movie, so it's okay. I had a lot to do with the
You
movie.
lived it.
But I lived it, and also I met Leon Uris before he even knew anything about the movie.
Wow.
It was in my house. But that's not Hal wanted to be in that movie. That's all.
Yeah.
And it was. So you were sure. Well, what do you? He'd go sit in the sun and then he'd run down and go find the different people, and he got in. He got in.
So you think he had 2 kids, maybe?
I think, but I don't know. I can't remember.
Do you remember the name of his wife?
Of the Marina.
No.
Marina.
I can't
Something
remember
like that.
I never met her.
Okay.
They lived on a moshav.
Near Haifa.
Near Haifa, yes.
You know what Moshav it was?
I can't remember.
Satrupa has that information.
Okay.
She visited her also in the
Yes.
same trip that she visited you.
I can't remember because it's, you know, he never brought it to me, and I didn't have to know his girlfriends or anything
Right.
else. I had my own family to take care of, my own politics, and that was enough. Now the time that he spent here with us in that trip was a very terrible time for him, because it was in his mind that he had to get in, that's all, into the film. That was more important than Sergeant Krupke he was. What play is that?
West Side Story.
Maybe that was his big thing, right?
But
That's interesting, but I think this is the bad period you're talking
Yes,
about.
yes, yeah. Well, I'm not sure if there were so many good periods. I don't know, because
Right,
when he left
bad,
Palestine,
yeah.
when he left Israel, he went to England, and I think
Right.
that's where he started to do something about this theater business. I mean,
He did okay there from what I saw.
for a while.
Uh-huh.
I tell you how bad it was. If I remember, the last time I was there with him, I gave him $500. He was out of money, and
Hey.
it was terrible, terrible. I couldn't believe it. But I knew something about his family, of this curtain business.
Yeah.
Right, curtain, and but he didn't have touch. He had no touch with them. He had no touch with them, and as far as I told you, his brother and his sister and brother, they're communists. He says they killed everything, you know? And they had a Cadillac. They said the family had a Cadillac. And I'll tell you when that came up. When we got to Portugal, we didn't get paid. No pay. But in Portugal, they were going to give us money to go ashore. To a certain extent, we didn't care. I didn't care, because I had brought, from being in the Mediterranean, I had brought hundreds of packs of cigarettes to sell, and I was going to do business.
Yeah.
I didn't care. But there was a discussion. Okay, everybody gets the same amount of money. I don't know what it was, $25 or something. And one of the guys, he says, I got a ticket. I says, I deserve more. Now, a ticket meant he had a license for a certain rank.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, Hal says, you got a ticket, you got a license, I got a license for a Cadillac. I'll never forget it. And I laughed. I said, son,
That's strange.
you don't know if they had a Cadillac.
I have no idea. I grew up in Florida. They grew up in New York.
When you find out if they had a Cadillac,
Well, when my cousin sees this, I think she'll know if
yeah,
maybe.
I laughed, but I know they had a very good business. I even knew the name of it once. I forgot it already.
Huh.
I forgot the name. I knew the name
My
once.
cousin
So
will know.
when you got to Portugal, what happened then?
Well, that's the end already.
What do you mean?
That's not the end.
That was- but that was the beginning.
In Florida, we rebuilt the ship. Made it run.
Right.
Engines and waters, all that. And then we set sail for Baltimore. In Baltimore, we didn't get there. We got to Charleston, South Carolina. Broke down.
Mm.
And in Charleston, we got fixed up again, and a day or two later, we left Baltimore. In Baltimore, we took on supplies, food, and things like that.
Who paid for it?
What?
Who paid for it?
You got to read the book.
Okay.
It'll tell you a great deal about
Okay,
those
fine.
things.
We don't
You
have
know,
to repeat. That's fine.
And but none of this had anything to do with anybody except a bunch of good Jews who were
Interesting.
defying what they thought was the British, or what they thought was American law, and ready to pay the price for it.
Yeah.
That's really what it amounts to. There's another book, if you want to read it, called The Pledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you write that?
No, I didn't. That's about the people who put up the money to do things. It's
Okay.
a good story.
Who? What's the name of the author?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll find it.
I don't know. The Pledge is called. If we have enough time, I'll look for it. I got a copy, not to give you, but I have a copy here.
Okay, I can take a photo of that.
I knew some of the guys and stuff. But that'll give you a good background how money was funneled not only to the ships, but for arms and for everything
Right.
else, and how things got organized.
So all the information about from Portugal on is kind of
Oh,
within your
sure.
book.
It's in there.
So
It's
once you all got to Palestine, Israel, we also
Well,
have some.
Now, I'm not sure if Hal went to Cyprus with us. I can't remember.
Okay,
That you got to find out by yourself. Because
Okay.
some of us went to Cyprus
right.
and stayed behind the barbed wire. I don't know if Hal got out or didn't get out before. I'm not sure. I think he was with us in Cyprus.
Why would he get out?
Oh, because theoretically, the sailors who were the volunteers were the Haganah, the Palmach, whatever you want to call them, helped to get us out, get out, and not go to Cyprus prison. Because Cyprus is no pleasure. Cyprus is barbed
Right.
wire, sleeping on the ground, poor food, terrible place.
Well, supposedly, my cousin said that he got here. He joined the Haganah,
Oh yeah, no,
He
that's
was a
something else.
frog- okay.
Later, everybody got here. Everybody you get
Okay.
here later.
but at that
But
time,
I'm not sure if he got out that time or
You
I
mean
see.
when
If
you
you-
were on Hatikva?
What?
You're not sure if he landed here with Hatikva or not?
no. We all landed with Hatikva. We all got here with Hatikva. But
Okay.
we were changed from Hatikva to a British vessel, and then taken to Cyprus to be put behind barbed wire, like the thousands of
right.
immigrants.
That was
תגיד אוניות גירוש.
Huh?
אוניות גירוש.
Yeah. They took us on their own vessels. They took us on their vessels.
right.
And our vessel was left in Haifa. Actually, our vessel became one of the warships for Israel. It lasted like three weeks or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Do you
But
need
it was
more?
good when it was there. The few weeks that it was there did its job.
So when you guys got here, when you eventually got here, you decided you're going to stay at that point?
No,
or?
most of us left.
Okay.
Yeah, most of us left.
So, but you still stayed in touch with Hal while he was here?
That's
during the
something
Haganah?
else. That was a whole different thing. I mean, Hal was a guy I did stay in touch with. What? For what reason? We had something more in common than a lot of others, that's all. I was in the Merchant Marine. He was in the
Right.
Merchant Marine. He didn't like certain people on the ship. I didn't like them, So it's-
You bonded.
So that's it. So we had it. And also, he said he had the shop in Brooklyn. I mean, or something.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name. I used to know the name of the place. But
I know my cousin will know the name. I mean, she had sent me some awards that Israel gave him.
everybody
some
got.
picture and.
Yeah, we all got.
But I think this was for when he was in the Haganah and acting as a frogman, going and putting explosives
Yeah.
on the ships. Did he talk about that at all?
I
To you,
can't
or-
tell you if he did anything that we didn't do, so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember. But maybe he was in Cyprus with us, because from Cyprus, we left Cyprus and then we blew up a British vessel. But maybe that's what he's talking about. But I don't remember if we were all together or
Yeah.
not. You know, it's a long time.
I know it's a long
It's a
time.
long time. And as you go along, you make up stories also. You gotta you
Please
gotta
add.
put it together.
Yeah.
People ask you questions. You gotta put it together.
Yeah.
So I can't remember if he did go with us or didn't go with us to Cyprus. I can find. Well, I don't know if Harold Katz would know. This friend of mine. I would ask him if he went. I would guess he did go, but I don't know.
All right.
Not that it makes any difference. We spent a month and a half, 2 months in Cyprus with this living in tents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The
That
only
must-
reason I don't think, but that's unimportant. I don't know.
I'll get this for you.
What are you doing?
Did you want to turn this on?
No,
Oh,
I'm. This stopped working,
okay.
and this is low battery. So
Okay. You're gonna go to this when you're.
I am.
Okay.
You have 90%,
Okay.
unless if they have a USB cord.
That's
I have
okay.
a USB. Oh, okay.
That's all right. So
No, and then I returned shortly after for other with another ship. But not an immigrant ship, a different ship. I returned with a warship that we took out of America. But it's a whole different story. Nothing to do with anything with this.
is it in that book?
No.
This is your own.
This book is only about the immigrant ships, and it's not about me. It's about all of us. It's about some 300 young men
Right.
that formed.
Gotcha.
This is a very a non-I book. it's us, and it's all about how we got, what happened, and it's a book that has had many editions because as we went along, I found out, certain things that were maybe in the first that are not true, and so I discarded them. Look, you must understand. I did this because the story is simple enough. I was told that I was a liar, not directly.
Right. But people were saying you made
I
this.
didn't-
You must have made this up.
No, it's even worse than that.
Oh gosh.
But I wasn't told in that many ways. I was at a meeting with Ben Gurion, Prime Minister, and I used words talking in Hebrew, which misled him.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we talk about Aliyah Bet.
Mm-hmm.
Now the word bet is two. Okay? He came in what is known as the Aliyah Shniya, which is the second, is
Right.
two. And he couldn't understand that me, this young kid, could have come, and this old man, he came on the same thing. So it became and that's why I went and wrote the book, because I realized nobody understood who we were. And that's how the book came into fruition. It's,
Have many people contacted you whose family?
all the time.
All the time, right?
all the time.
Amazing. Because
I,
there's always stories, and nobody really knows. Nobody's around much.
No, now there's nobody around. But I do a great deal. I speak about it. I get involved, and
So when you were just in Charleston, where did you?
last 2 years ago, a year ago, where did I speak? Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it's arranged through Jewish organizations.
Funnily enough, that my tour down in the south of the USA was arranged by an American Jew, a 3 or 4-star general in the American Marines, a Jewish boy,
Right.
married to a shiksa. And they visited here one day, and they met me someplace. They said, "You should come and talk." So I said, "If you want me, I'll come." And I came, and
Fascinating.
I don't mind if they pay the expenses there, but I did.
Do you still have a lot of family in the U.S.?
Not really. I have a brother there, but that's it. My kids are all here. My grandchildren are here. My
Nice.
great grandchildren are. They're all
Lovely.
here. Yeah.
Close by?
What? Oh yeah.
all over.
Oh yeah. If it happens to be this weekend, they're not around, but you come on another weekend.
They're all
It's
around.
about gone.
Plenty of them come in and out. Oh yeah.
That's
like
lovely.
all grandchildren, they look for ice cream and things like this. So
So what is your magic potion for being so healthy?
my magic potion for what?
Being so healthy.
My mother. She said you can't use sugar. That was one of her first rules. You only eat fresh fruits and vegetables. Yeah, no fat. Oh no, she was very, very adamant about that kind of thing.
Amazing.
So if I drank coffee, if she gave me coffee, no sugar, of course, and things like this.
Yeah.
That's what I think is. But I don't know. Look, good weather. It's a nice place. And I think that Israel keeps you on the ball. I mean, you're always, you never know. You were here, you said,
Yeah.
know, it's great. And now you're going to visit, and everywhere. What are all these Jews running into the same? They're all crowding everything up. It's crazy.
It wasn't just the Jews. It was these tourists from so many
All
different
over.
countries.
You
Like,
see them.
up at the wall last night, there were women from, I think they were from America, but they were African American.
African American, yeah.
And in the churches that they have in the United States, some of them get very
Oh,
wild.
of course.
And at the wall, they were shaking
There's love.
and talking. I don't know what they were saying. but
Where
it
do you
was
live?
Now?
Yeah.
In North Carolina.
Oh, that's right. You told me. I
Right,
know.
but we had 40 years in New Jersey. I grew up in Florida,
Uh-huh.
but I was born in Queens.
Born in Queens.
Queens,
Of
Kew
course.
Garden Hills.
That's where the Jews all started.
Well, most of my family was from Brooklyn. They were all from Brooklyn. They moved to Queens, and then they moved to Florida,
Yeah.
other places. So
No. In your end of Carolinas, how's Trump do there?
well, we're in a
It's
very
mixed.
different end of North Carolina. We are in the only liberal enclave.
Oh, yes?
So everybody hates him.
Everybody hates him.
Everybody hates him. We're in the mountains. It's a very liberal town. Everybody hates him. But you know, there's different lenses there. We were at a Shabbos dinner last night where when his name was mentioned, everybody stood up and
Of
clapped.
course.
And
We know what's good for the Jews and what's good for America.
Well, Obama thought he had the magic potion.
No, Obama was a crook. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, we
Obama
do
was a
not.
dishonest man. That's all.
Yeah.
And if you look at the paintings of him and his wife, did you see the paintings they put in there?
I did not like those
Ugly.
paintings.
The most disgusting things. Look, I don't know anything about art. We had art galleries. That's how we made money. But I don't know anything about art.
What do you mean that's how you made money?
What?
Your business?
You
Your,
had art
Business, yeah,
galleries, or-
art, yeah, and
what kind of art?
things you can sell. Paintings, Israeli paintings.
Mm.
Israeli art. We had a gallery in New York City. We had one here, but this is. I still got a few, hundreds of paintings here. What he made is the epitome of who they are. They are Drek, and that's the paintings. I'm telling you. I tell.
We might not be able to show everybody.
You do whatever you want with it.
No.
Unfortunately, he was bad for the American people, very bad as far as I'm concerned, and for the Jews for sure not good. And the thing is that there were Jews that were sucking up to him on all
They
sides.
thought he was.
But you know, they felt sorry because a Schwarzer became president. He's a minority, you know. It's a part of the Jewish trait. There's a minority. He's black. You know, you got to be good to it. We were brought up on this, you
Yeah,
know.
but I was brought up in a very assimilated background.
Well, there you are.
And my parents were both extraordinarily liberal.
Yes.
And even my mother, because we voted for Trump, and
But
my
we didn't tell anybody.
yeah, you couldn't talk about it.
That's right.
You know what? The things that are important to me is what their economic plan is, and what their position is to Israel. And
Yeah.
everything else I don't
That
care.
rest doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. And so,
Yeah.
I never voted for Clinton because I just
Oh,
I
terrible.
I just couldn't.
So you see, and I didn't know it, and you're listening to me. You see that? But I tell everyone this, so it's not a problem. I sometimes I get kickback, but what the hell do I care?
Yeah. So what else do you know about Hal that we haven't talked about?
You know, I'm trying to think of it. He had.
I mean, what was it like picking up refugees and bringing them to Israel?
Well, that's a whole different business. That's
I mean, anything unique about Hal? Or
look, Hal is a bull. I don't know if you knew him his size.
I-
He's strong.
We
I
have the
didn't-
pictures.
Oh yeah,
A thick neck.
he was
Very
strong.
thick
He was.
upper body.
He was really. When we called him, you called him. I remember we called him. So he could do anything. He really could. He was also a good seaman. So he knew something. Because on the ship, more than half the guys knew nothing. Nothing. They knew how to spell. They probably all college graduates with a few degrees within a few years.
Yeah.
But the ship was not their business. Ship is a very terrible, not terrible. It's a difficult kind of business.
Yeah.
You sleep in three guys into a room. It's very difficult.
And then when you took the refugees on the
Yeah,
ship,
well,
then
there was lots of different. But Hal went through. We know how to do it. That's all.
wow.
But on the other hand, he was not someone I would go ashore with. I go ashore. I'm not. I'm not one of these guys going out. I'm not out whoring all over the place. I wanted good coffee and cake. And
So Hal had a reputation.
no, I don't think
He
so.
just had different interests.
But they was just that. He just was. That's all. But he was good. He was a good man, a good worker, good natured. As I say, when I voted him, when I visited him the last time in London, I was shocked. I came home to tell my wife. She says, it's terrible, terrible.
yeah.
I said, I couldn't understand. Here's a family with money. Why don't they take care of him?
Well, at
But
that
maybe
point,
they didn't have money.
At that point in time, I don't think they did. His parents were long gone.
who was her,
Celia and I can't remember his
And
father's
his
name.
his parents would have been your mother's?
So his mother and my grandpa Mo were brother and sister.
Right.
See, and
And his sister had been divorced, so she might have been divorced at that point. And I don't think she was doing.
well, according to Hal, I remember telling me, they destroyed a good business. Now, I wish the hell I could remember the name, but they
But
made
you're-
curtains and bedspreads.
Your grandpa Mo, they ran that soda fountain place, didn't they?
No, that's you're getting mixed up. It was
Okay.
his ex-wife that ran a coffee shop in Florida that had nothing to do with this. We've that particular side of the family
Yeah.
is the Watnick family, and we've traced so many people from that particular side. We went back to Bialystok a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
And
Good for
we
you.
found Watnicks in Taiwan and in Seattle. One of them married a Japanese woman, and then that son married a Chinese woman, and they've got kids, and I'm connected with them on Facebook. It's very, very interesting. From a little shtetl outside of Bialystok, the family went all over the world.
You control the
Yeah.
world. Can I ask you a question? It's not related to.
No, but I want to say I'm not sure how Jewish that Hal had in him. I'm not sure how much Judaism they had in him. I'm not sure.
He had the connection. He knew he was Jewish.
Oh, all that is yes,
Without-
but I don't know
But
if
they
he.
weren't raised that way.
Yeah.
None of them from Brooklyn
Nothing.
were raised with
Yeah, that's that.
tradition.
that's
They
my
certainly
outside
didn't keep
feeling, yeah.
Kosher. They didn't keep Shabbat.
Nothing,
They didn't
yeah.
like candles.
Oh, you can give
Yeah.
me.
So this is not related to Hal at all. It's my side of the
I'm
family.
not related either. So
Okay.
okay.
So apparently, my grandfather in World War I signed up, we think, with the Canadian Army to come to Palestine and to fight.
And
Yeah.
so
So
supposedly there's
the
a
same way we
museum
got
somewhere.
connected to knowing more about Hale, we went to the detention center.
At least.
Yes.
And is there a museum or records that talk about volunteers because it was American again, another very similar story,
Of course,
but
there
it
in
was a
World
different. It
War
was
One, is there a
different.
museum?
There is a
course,
society of
there is.
World War One.
What society? I'm sorry.
Of World War.
It's just called Society of.
No, there's a museum.
Oh, there is a museum. That's what we.
Where-
Is it
where-
Tel
where-
Aviv?
I saw
No.
last week placards
What's a lakat?
of the Australian in World
World War One.
One. There was here in Israel.
But where is the museum?
I'll tell you, Avichail, Avichail, Avichail.
Wait, that's the
I
name
got
of the
it down.
museum.
Wait,
That's
by
near
Netanya.
Netanya. Near Netanya.
okay.
So that's north of here.
It's
I know.
It's a moshav.
It's a there's
And they
a-
have records.
Oh yes, yes,
Huh.
yes.
They have records of every.
Every.
Yes.
What do I buy every?
No, but I mean
You
they.
can- you
Are you
can
going to
call
come back
them.
after him? if
You can
can't
call
find-
them.
No, you can call them
But not
and
today.
ask if
Tomorrow.
they have.
That's right.
Right.
Right, you can probably
Because
get
I
it
know
online.
that they have on the Brigada, the Jewish Brigada,
got-
in the
Yeah,
war, in
yeah.
World War II.
Avichail has.
I'm not sure that war,
What?
במלחמת העולם הראשונה.
בטח, כן, כן.
Right,
זה
right.
זה הם היסוד.
Okay.
No, it was
Yeah.
founded by men, a bunch of Americans, or what they call the Mule Corps Brigade, M-U-L-E, Mule Corps Brigade. And Jabotinsky was the big man.
So the way this came about was that my cousin, I have a first cousin, and lives near Washington D.C., and she emailed me like yesterday
Yeah.
because I lived here for 3 years and I never heard the story. This was my grandfather who apparently was here at 18 years old, but it was World War One rather than World War at the end of
Should go there.
Okay.
I think he'll.
And they'll understand English. Calling up.
I know, we know people that are making research on World War One.
Oh, interesting.
אמיר, רוגל
Find out if it's
ורחלי.
open to
Yeah,
them.
sure. But
Well,
they-
we can call in the morning.
From Avichail, they'll lead them on to it. Yeah, I think so. If you don't get any place, you'll drop me a line. We'll see if we can find something for you. But this is, that's where the museum is. That's where they are.
Thank you.
They came, and I'll tell you who. From Canada, you said.
Well, no, they
He joined the
apparently
Canadian.
apparently he came from Chicago and
No, because
They can't-
Joseph.
Would you have coffee?
I have a little bit of coffee.
You won't get much. We only made small cups.
Yours.
I didn't make a full thing there. I didn't see them. I said they're not coming. I'm not going to make all that
I
coffee.
wouldn't do that to you, but you didn't know that. You just hit a little trap.
So-
she goes everywhere with the chauffeur.
Oh, okay. You see, under normal circumstances, when people come to me and they tell me in advance that here it's too late, but they tell me in advance, I says you have to bring a can of coffee. They say where? I said go to Costco and buy coffee and bring it. This week I had a guy came. His parents were on one of the ships, and he wanted to know something. He wrote me, sent me an email from America. So I said, bring me coffee. So there's just
What kind of
Two-
coffee do you like?
anything you pay for. I mean, I don't make.
I'm just curious.
No, that's it. How can I give out? People don't live. He wrote me immediately back in email. We don't get to Costco. We're not near Costco. So I said, get any coffee.
Tell him
He
to go
came
to
back
Sam's.
with 2 pounds of Costco coffee. You know,
Wow.
he came here this week. So,
Can I check this out?
Yes, that's fine.